to me.
Yep.
You used me.
That is also true.
Love this kid.
Yeah. She want a sweet tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That booty look
Harry
good
Sisson,
tonight.
leftist TikToker, streamer, debater, content creator, has been outed as a predator among women despite advocating for women's rights. He's disgusting. He's a monster. Sarah Fields over on Twitter at Sarah is Censored has broken the story that Harry Sisson secretly is some kind of monster. And we're going to go ahead and take a deep dive into it because clearly with allegations like these aren't to be taken lightly. It says Harry Sisson convinced 11 different women that, quote, he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies, while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat, including one from a domestic abuse survivor. Whoa, Harry, what's going on? What is up with all these like political commentators just having these having a harem of women at their disposal? Like, why is Destiny and Harry Sisson just getting play left and right? This is insane. A lot of you know, who can't get play, maybe become a leftist political commentator. I don't know. Apparently, they're just having harems left and right. When the women discovered each other one by one, he called them all insane and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public the photos were fake. He was getting play. Harry Sisson was getting play. That's the whole thing. There are people saying that this is just as bad, if not worse, than Destiny. I don't know if you've seen the Destiny allegations. Go ahead and watch that video if you haven't. It took me like a week to make. Destiny was allegedly illegally recording women without their consent, of course, while they were engaged in intercourse, and then shared them with other people publicly. So yeah, that's a crime. That's a crime. Revenge porn is a crime. Punishable by fines and I believe jail time. Getting play, being a little fuckboy, you know, being a pimp, it's not a crime. Is it shitty? Yeah, but it's not a crime. While Harry Sisson continues to collect millions of views for his audience, claiming that he is a supporter of women and a champion for women's rights. All right, I do agree with that. It is kind of shitty to be virtue signaling like that, but I mean, hey, isn't that every performative person on the internet? There are like victims of SA in terrible, terrible, disgusting situations, including the Destiny situation. This is not one of those situations. You click off if you want. This is gonna be the whole video. I mean, I'm just gonna react to how stupid this is, but yeah, this is what 1 million people have viewed and 10,000 people have liked. 1.8 thousand people have reshared.
I got played by a TikTok influencer for 9 months, and I think it's time that I expose his trashy ass behavior.
Where are you, like outside of a Smith's? What is going on? Are you in a grocery store? Why are you not recording this in your house?
We started talking in May of last year, right before my birthday, and he like wooed me. He was very kind.
She's smiling talking about it, dude. She still loves him. There's still a spark there. This relationship can be saved. I believe in her.
I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but I created a private story on Snapchat for just him and named it For Your Eyes Only, and he loved it. He loved the attention that I was getting.
She's like bragging. She's like, she loved what I put on there. By the way, OnlyFans in bio. But by the way, Harry Sisson loved it. Loved every minute of it. Jesus Christ.
He suddenly is like, I'm not looking for any commitment, and I'm not in a place to find anything long term right now. I'm just really busy, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was understanding. I was fine keeping schedule. However, I couldn't help it.
Okay, yeah, right. You know, he's able to make that decision.
That he led me on. And he even admitted that. He's like, yeah, that's on me for like not making my intentions clear.
Okay, so he admitted that he led you on. Okay.
Okay. He tells me.
Okay, I fight, dude. Evil white woman.
A couple more times after that he doesn't want commitment. And then next thing I know, he's posting a soft launch thirst trap of him and his new girlfriend 2 weeks ago.
Soft launch of his girlfriend? What the hell? That's disgusting.
Prior to this, I had found out that he fucked around with somebody else by him going live on TikTok and showing hickeys on his neck. That's how I literally found out that he was fucking.
You got played. That's what happened. He was thumbing through his little woman Rolodex. You know, again, morally, I wouldn't do. That's just not my lifestyle. Some people do that. I think it's kind of shitty. Whatever. But he ended up finding one that really stuck with him and actually did have the wifey material. And you fell for all the things he said. Now you're upset. That's what happened. There's no victim here. It's just a shitty thing that happened to you.
Keep in mind, he was well aware of the fact that I was very depressed following a very traumatic car accident that I had been in. And
it's like you're acting as if being in a traumatic car accident turns you into like a child who's incapable of making decisions for themselves. Because just because you were in a traumatic car accident and depressed at the time doesn't mean that you're just, you have no control over your own actions. I feel sad, and in order to other people feel sad for me, I'm going to put in the fact that I was in a traumatic car accident and also I was depressed. Do you have like an itch on your arm? Does your wrist hurt? Does your finger hurt? Does your tummy hurt? What other things can we add on to this and make me feel sorry for you?
he still took advantage of my sadness.
Apparently, I'm going to be honest, maybe that Your Eyes Only Snapchat wasn't that good. Maybe it wasn't as good as he thought it was. I don't know. Maybe he could have tried harder.
He demanded that I unsave everything on Snapchat.
Could you imagine like walking past this? You probably assume that this girl was like talking to her friend or, you know, her family on the phone, right? But no, she's recording a video for Snapchat. Keep in mind, Harry Sisson, I don't like him. He's a bad person. Harry Sisson, not a good person. Like, this is so stupid.
Because he had a new girlfriend and it was like out of respect for her. Bro, you don't know
Bro.
the first thing about respecting women.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'll concede on that point. I'll concede. It is very odd that this guy is going around saying that he respects women for everything, loves women, you know, he's a feminist for everything, and then does this. But I don't know if you know, that's kind of a theme with people. You know, people have a mask that they put on to show what they want you to think versus how they really are on the inside. You know, the Japanese have a really cool saying on this. I don't know what it is because I don't speak Japanese, but I'll put it here.
Because he had a new girlfriend and it was like out of respect for her. Bro, you don't know the first thing about respecting women. Jump to last night.
If there was someone coming out and they were like, I was 17 the whole time or something, yeah, sure. I'd make a whole video about it. Like, Harry Sisson's a psychopath. Harry Sisson's a crazy person. But he's not. He's just a dude who likes to get play.
I find out that he was leading somebody else on at the same time he was leading me on.
What? That's crazy. I've never heard of that before.
And my world was shook.
My world was shook. Guys, this is the T. This is the AAVE I steal from black women as a white woman.
I DM'd her because I saw a comment she left on his backup account, I guess is what you could call it. And she was like, oh my God, I think we went through the same thing. And I was like, no freaking way, girl, still.
No freaking way, girl. Like, oh my God. Like, we're trauma bonding? Oh my God.
And so, long story short, we talked literally probably 6-7 hours last night.
Literally for 6 or 7 hours. Like, not kind of. Like, actually, like, literally.
Exposing everything. Early on in the conversation, she tells me that he had told her in December that he had no roster. What the fuck do you call me? You're talking to me for 7 months at that point.
The way she describes that is she's not upset that he did it to this other girl. She's upset that she did it to him and that she was just left out in the dust. What do you call me? What was I to you? What were we?
You're talking to me for 7 months at that point. And you're gonna say leave the roster. I see.
Yeah, that's why he's kind of a shitty person. I don't know, because he's a shitty person.
She shared screenshots of their conversations. I shared screenshots of ours, and we basically came to the conclusion that he.
So last night you shared screenshots, but you just forgot to put them in the video. Interesting. Okay, I'm not even saying I don't believe her because it's like this would be insane to make up. Like, what? I mean, maybe she would. Why not put it in here again? Like, so far we have 2 videos of people just talking with 0 evidence. This needs to be a thing, like, especially with something that apparently is so easy to prove because you're sharing it with some girl talking on the phone literally for 6 hours.
Is a despicable and disgusting.
It's despicable and disgusting. There's going to be another video where he's like, I gave him head and he didn't give me head. Can you fucking believe that? That's disgusting.
Here on his platform, almost 2 million followers, and preaches respect for women and leading women, blah, 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 blah. And then he disrespected us so grossly. Asked for extremely intimate images.
Yeah, asked for extremely intimate images, which you consensually sent. You even admitted to creating, like, you didn't even just send him a couple. You created a whole Your Eyes Only story for him. So what do you complain? Like, what are you complaining? You were complicit in this. He just kind of sucks as a person.
But yeah, he's wishing everyone a happy International Women's Day after telling people on live earlier that I'm insane. So.
This bitch is insane, by the way. My heart goes out to all the women out there. Love you. All the women, y'all have my heart, but no, this bitch is insane. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you're clocked, buddy.
Yeah, you're clocked, buddy. You're clocked, buddy. Finally, she doesn't steal AAVE. She uses the white language. Next video.
A little bit after that, I shared with him that I was a survivor of SA, and if he ever needed a victim's perspective during one of his TikTok live debates, I would be willing to share my story.
Okay.
He was really nice about it, was supportive, thanked me for sharing with him, and also for my willingness to speak on it if he ever needed somebody to. Pretty quickly into us Snapchatting, he started saving snaps where I just like looked pretty, I guess, and if you know, you know, like that's a compliment. It wasn't
if you know, like, you know, like
anything inappropriate. It was just very flattering because I looked good, and he was kind of telling me that by wanting to keep those pictures of me in our chat. Shortly then after that, it became more of like an inappropriate infatuation with me.
An inappropriate infatuation? What do you created a whole story to post nudes on? Okay, sure.
Berated people who disrespected women and just all that stuff that, you know, makes a woman feel safe, right?
Right, yeah, yes.
Not long after we started snapping, I made some joke about probably having a bunch of competition, and he then told me that I had no competition and said that he was content, implying that he was content with just me. At another point, he told me that my opinion was the only one that mattered. So of course I like ate that stuff right up. Like,
you got tricked, you got fooled, and you fell for it. This is embarrassing. Why are you posting this? Also, and he knew I was a victim of SA. Like, obviously, that's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna question that. But what does that have to do with anything? What does this have to do with fucking anything? Did he SA you? No. So why does it matter? Like, just because you're a victim of SA doesn't mean you get special treatment from people in the world. I'm sorry.
When September came around, I told him that the anniversary of my essay was coming up, and so he was well aware of this. And then on the night of September 15th, before he went live to debate on TikTok, he messaged me just wanting to check in, seeing how I was doing. And then after he was done debating, he tried to FaceTime me, but unfortunately I had already fallen asleep. Anyway, he attempted to call me. I didn't answer. He messaged me and told me to answer, and since I was sleeping, I didn't see it till the next morning. But when I saw that I had a missed call, again, I was like, how sweet is this that he really took the time out to want to check in with me on the night he knew was going to be very difficult for me to sleep. I think that kind of says a lot about how he felt about me. I don't know.
Maybe it's an issue with like this generation or something. That's just like basic kindness to show to someone. That's not outstanding behavior. Like, he told me that I look good today. Wow. This guy is an angel. Guy's amazing. If that's the bar, the bare minimum, someone being nice to you, please raise the bar. You are going to get played by motherfuckers like this all the time if you think that that's outstanding behavior.
Of course, I was holding on to this for a while because I really just thought he went above and beyond. And I really just thought he was like this amazing person who saw me as more than my body. But not too long after that, it all became even more intensely inappropriate, and just like the things that he was requesting from me, that kind of took me by surprise. But yeah, I kind of just like put up with it because I was like, well, he respects me, right? He respects me for more than the physical attraction.
You know, he's asking a lot from me, and then I did it. I mean, I guess you regret it now? Like, what is the point here? Harry Sisson isn't some evil master manipulator. People do this all the time.
From like late October onward, he started to pull back just a little bit, and I let it go for a while without saying anything. But then late November, I was like, look, you like rarely snap me anymore. If you don't want to talk, like just communicate that with me. And he said that wasn't the case. And then I had told him that if he was
late October to onward, he stopped talking to you. So you're telling me in that entire time span, you didn't text a single other guy. You're telling me you didn't text anybody else. So we're 4 minutes in. Where are the receipts, dude? Like, you had the literally six hour conversation with this woman on the phone the night before. Where's the fucking pictures?
He said that he wasn't talking to other women like that. He wasn't hooking up with anybody because he quote unquote never does that. And I believed him. I literally believed everything he said all the time. Like,
did he like put a chip in your brain to do that? Or is this just, you just don't know how to gauge people's honesty? I don't know. Like, it just, you really think that Harry Sisson from TikTok is going to be this golden boy who's just going to treat you completely? Like, I don't know. This is crazy.
Then February comes around and he shows up on TikTok live with hickeys on his neck. So I was like, obviously there's someone else and you're being dishonest with me. Of course I had to address this because I was hurt and I had every right to be. Not long after that, he discloses that he's seeing her. And I was like, oh, see, I thought you didn't want commitment, but that's my bad.
He chose another bitch over you and you were upset.
Again, he posts a thirst trap on TikTok with her.
Here's Harry's video of the thirst trap.
I get it. She wanna come with me, I get it. She wanna come feel me, I get it. She wanna come feel me, I get it. She wanna come feel me, I get it.
And I can't even tell you the emotions that went through my body that entire night. I'm just disgusted, bro. I have genuinely never been more wrong about somebody in my entire life. For 9 months, I thought that he was this amazing person. That person he showed online was the person he truly was, and I was proven so horribly wrong.
This guy on my phone screen, I thought he was gonna be the perfect person. I thought this super charismatic guy had zero faults at all. No. Why?
All I have to say to that is there are some very strong women that I am aligned with and share experiences with, and we're not going to stand for some dude getting away with...
Getting away with what? It's not, you didn't do anything. He was mean to you. What are you talking about?
Icky behavior.
Icky behavior. Oh my God.
You can't sit there and pretend that you care.
You have a 444 chain, lady. I'm sorry.
I'm so glad that I found this out before I ever met up with him, because that would have just made everything a million times worse. But
here's the snaps. I think that's a great idea. Is he in the shower? I certainly desire you. I think that's what that says. I never lied to you. We were not exclusive, and I made it abundantly clear I didn't want that, and you said that was fine. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. What and why are you screenshotting? Damn, you're sexy. Stop. Don't. Put a smiley face. So, again, completely consensual the entire time. I'd fuck you raw after wine tasting, but that's just... Damn, Harry, fuck. You're hot. You look great. It feels pretty great. I can't lie. Oh my God, dude. The verdict is you look sexy as fuck. Court adjourned. Lamau, C, your opinion is the only one that mattered. He looks like such a fucking douchebag. Like, this is the guy that you entrusted with your life. You need, oh my God. God, that ass is fat. This sounds like a really scary, dangerous person. Quote from Kaylee: I'm fighting for accountability, not only for myself, but on behalf of everyone who believed that this guy was someone he's not. To this day, he has yet to acknowledge that he did anything wrong, and that's really sad. However, I have to say I'm beyond blessed and frankly shocked to have connected with so many amazing people over this horrible experience. Thank you for confirming that my feelings throughout those 9 months were valid. As more women came forward, it was determined that 11 women were played by Harry. Damn! 11 women!
Like a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? Instead, he lied and said he did not have a roster.
And then he lied. He told me he loved me, and then he lied. He did it. Another victim of Harry, Sarah, provided a long, detailed video of her experience. I clipped it for the sake of time, but you can find her full video on the TikTok platform. Sarah is a DV survivor. She posted about her DV experience in October for 2024 for DV Awareness Month. Receipts are of her ex following the experience when she was convinced by Harry to share explicit photos of herself, and she was told that the only one. Okay, so here's bruises and text messages from her DV from someone else that's not Harry. Now I just know that this woman was assaulted. Like, that just makes me feel shitty. Again, that's terrible that that happened to you, but this has nothing to do with this.
He did inform me that there was no roster.
I love the no roster thing. That's amazing. You guys got to start using that line.
Essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from. And I was, again, fine with that. But of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to.
I only have a lot to offer, no doubt. I think right now I can't do exclusivity. Not because I'm getting news from a bunch of girls or fucking girls and stuff. I don't hook up with anyone ever, but because I just don't think I'd be able to commit 100% to something. Also, since we live in different states, exclusivity would be hard. So I'm not balancing a bunch of girls at once. My mind and energy are just other places right now. And I don't have much more to give. That sounds like you're being let off easy. I'm going to be honest. Maybe just, I don't know. It's not that there's a competition. I'm not getting news from a bunch of girls or hooking up with a bunch of girls. But then he did. then he did do that. One of the women who is terrified of Harry's retaliation has stated that Harry assured her that the screenshots were all fake, but also told her that he doesn't feel bad about lying about personal things. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe this guy's a psychopath. I don't know. As a survivor of DV and a parent of a child who has survived SA, I will not tolerate any degrading comments about these women. They're all young. I believe they have definitely learned a lesson here. Yeah, Harry is a narcissistic abuser who took advantage of... No, he's not. I mean, this guy kind of sounds like a psychopath, but that's it. He just sucks. Both of us were doxxed by Harry 2 years ago. Okay. I don't know about that. If that's true, that sucks. That's terrible. As a survivor of DV and a parent of a child who survived SA, so now if someone finds out who... I mean, I guess both of you were doxxed, so now you're just outing your child as being a survivor of SA? The fuck is your problem? Why are you... I do not condone the behavior of these women, but I do know what it feels like to be in it. Wait. Hold on. What? I do not condone the behavior of these women. What are you saying? What does that mean? What behavior? Nasty comments such as they deserved it or calling them derogatory names will result in a block. Oh no, I hope Sarah Fields isn't blocked, man. There's a couple more. Oh, these videos are so long.
I've slept all of 1 hour over the last 2 days because of this shit, so you're getting a speed run of my side.
You slept all of 1 hour because you found out Harry Sisson was talking to other girls at the same time? I really hope nothing terrible happens to you in your life because, God, I don't know what would happen. If you're losing sleep over this, imagine like a pet dies or a family member dies. I don't what the hell would happen to this girl. She'd probably explode.
I knew that this guy was a player. We started talking like 2 years ago, stopped talking a few days after New Year's, a few days before the TikTok ban, somewhere in there. And
I'll give her this. She provides screenshots. She provides actual pictures. Thank you. That's what you're supposed to do. It's real easy. TikTok makes it real easy.
it was on and off for those years, very casual. The part that pissed me off was that this almost cost me a friendship with a really great girl. As you guys, and then one day I get a DM. The DM was from this guy. He said, basically, I need you to do me a favor. I said, what was the favor? He said, I need you to block Reese. And me, I wanted to get both sides of the story. And so, long story short, I communicated with her. I communicated with him. He told me that everything she told me was fake, a lie, and that she was crazy.
I stand with women. I love you, women. But that bitch is crazy. Don't listen to anything she says, baby girl. She's crazy.
Each other, we did not interact, but we're in tone at the same time. I wasn't talking to him when he did the soft launch. He wasn't talking to me. However,
stop saying soft launch. It's not a thing. Shut the fuck up. It's so aggravating.
The entire point of this was to hold somebody accountable who has amassed a large, very female, very young following by claiming that they support women, that they respect women, and this is evidence otherwise. This isn't for clout. None of us are doing this for clout. This is to show you unacceptable behavior by somebody who has... Oh,
don't worry. I know this isn't for clout because no one fucking cares. But the people on the right are having a field day with this, that this guy is like secretly a monster. There, a lot of people I see are like overplaying this as if it's some like Destiny level bullshit. It's not. Another woman who claims, oh, this is only a 3-minute video, but then the next one's 9 minutes long. Oh my God. Okay. Good speed. Another woman who claims he had known Harry for years since they were teens has come forward. She says that Harry is predatory and manipulative and has been doing this for a very long time. She also stated that when she first came forward, no one believed her. Thank you, Hannah.
Or just somebody to talk to. I'm here.
Does she have a filter on?
Get through this without crying. I'm mostly crying because I'm really
like I don't even want to be mean. Does she have a filter on, or does she just look like that? Like
all of these girls for coming forward because I know how manipulative and conniving and overall dangerous this
dangerous
political TikToker is. And for
have you heard of Destiny? That's dangerous. That's an evil person. This is a guy who just kind of sucks.
So long, because I've been talking about him and his disgusting behavior for over a year.
So he's disgusting, he's abusive, he's manipulative, he's predatory, he's this, he's that, he's literally Hitler, he's literally Jeffrey Epstein, he's literally Bill Gates Epstein, he's literally all these people. Okay.
It's done. I could probably make a freaking novel on it.
Wait, what? Novel about how one guy played a bunch of girls and got nudes and dipped. That, wow, I've never heard of that before. That'd be a New York Times bestseller.
And if you want, I can talk about some of them that I remember. Some of them I can't talk about because I'm legally not allowed to do so, or it's legally a bad idea for me to talk about it. But
Harry Sisson worked for a young man named Camel Maroon According to Hannah, Camel was coaching and potentially grooming a 14-year-old autistic teen in Australia. According to Hannah, she informed Harry about Camel's behavior. Harry acted if he was appalled and said, we're going to report this issue to the FBI. Once he said those things, Hannah was happy and said, okay, I'm glad we can be friends again. Harry then immediately asked Hannah for nudes. However, Harry lied and did not report the issue to anyone. He stayed silent and continued working for Camel. We are not accusing Harry of a crime. It is important to everyone that understands that knowing of a crime and not reporting it for your own benefit is considered a crime itself. At the minimum, I hope this is investigated. Okay, here we go. So this is what you should have led with. This is what you should have led with. Harry Sisson apparently worked for some guy who's trying to groom teens in Australia. There you go. That's the story. None of this other shit has anything to do with that. There's a 14-year-old autistic teen in Australia who's a victim, allegedly, but instead you want to talk like, and he said that he loved me and he didn't. Oh my God. This is so fucking stupid.
Huge political TikTok account. Our relationship has always been friend-based. However, when I did go to Jersey to visit my aunt, he has a summer house there, so we did hook up a couple times. So it was kind of like friends with benefits, but it was kind of established that if we saw each other in person, we'd probably hook up. But our conversations outside of seeing each other in person or whatever were never really like flirty or anything like that. So I was never under any sort of impression that we were exclusive ever. We never were like that. So my story is going to be different than a lot of these girls. Just putting that out there. So up until about maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered Harry one of my best friends. And let me know if you see a pattern here. But what really kicks that off is that he was the one recording my rapist when I called him and got him admitting to raping me on audio. Okay, which was great, whatever. And then Harry started drinking. So when Harry started drinking, he started getting a lot more aggressively flirty. I apologize for my hand tremors. I can't control them. But if you want to pause and screenshot those, these are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and saying very sexual things to me. I didn't really care. You know, it's whatever, drunk words, sober thoughts, you get it. And then this is when I noticed kind of a shift in here. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following, and he created a Discord, in which was a very exclusive Discord, and very strange, creepy people were allowed in the Discord. I was in it for a little bit, but I was like never allowed to talk in it, so that's where Harry meets somebody named Camille, okay? I was advised not to, by my father, not to pursue an internship or a job with this Camille guy because my dad said he looked sketchy. Harry decided to go ahead and do so. And this is when I started getting messages from a minor, whom I will not say the name, with autism, who was also in the Discord. He was probably around 14 at the time. And he was sending me some concerning things regarding what Camille would send to him. Those are things I cannot show for legal reasons, but very much so did happen, and I contacted his mom, everything. But you know who was working for him? Harry. And I told Harry about everything that Camille was doing. Here's a proof of that. This is a conversation between Camille and the minor in question. Camille texts him, why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? And in those same texts, you will see him saying he's going to lose a business partner, aka Harry. Now Harry would respond with, yeah, that's super messed up. I won't work for him anymore. That's crazy. And then I got this message from the minor saying that Harry still is working for Camille. So I reached out to Harry. And this is the conversation from that little debacle. And then it got to a point wherein I was seeing if I should be contacting the police because this minor happens to be based internationally. He's not in America. And I advised Harry that I'm doing so, and he starts advising me not to do so. Through FaceTime audio, mind you. But here's the conversation about him advising me not to do so. And if you see with all the other girls too, he loves calling women lunatics, they're crazy, conspiracy theory, his favorite. Okay, let's continue. Oh, here's a random little tidbit, not really related to what I'm talking about, but I figured I'd share screenshots of Harry with my saved inappropriate photos in the chat. See, I am really sitting here admitting that I did send inappropriate, because it was like a fun little fling. For me, this is like less about the romantic part of anything. I don't really mind that. I don't like that they're saved, but like the whole inappropriate photos thing, not really my main issue. The context of it is though, so hold on. So here's me saying point blank to Harry, what's a conspiracy theory? The grooming part of me quite literally finding a relationship with Camille and all of this is suspicious. That's a speculation, not a theory. Anyway, and this is after Harry called me about 20 times and me not answering, and him saying, it's truly insane, like, Kenny, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. Essentially like putting his issues with Camille above the fact that he's literally grooming a minor. Anyway. Eventually, however, I was manipulated into thinking that he was no longer working for Camille. Whoops. So then October 7th happens. Also, I don't know if I should have this already, but this is also important in the context of everything. I'm sorry, this is so confusing. Everything's everywhere. Okay. So then Harry calls me saying that he's making some federal complaint against Camille. Okay, and I'm like, period, right? So here's that conversation. Essentially, he tells me that 2 other people are in on it. And then I said, okay, we have a little tip path behind us. We're homies now. He then asked me for nudes, unsent the message. And that's what I was talking about when I said, tried to get me to send him nudes because he pretended that he cared about the predation. So I said, I saw that, you freak. Are you drunk or something? Okay. But I didn't realize that until way later on, because then October 7th happened, and we were constantly arguing about that. So here is me trying to call Harry because I was trying to talk to him about, you know, Middle East stuff. He questions. He says he's tired. I say whatever. He goes, you know what it's a perfect time for, though? Referring to nudes. I said, you're funny. Then he unsent a message, and I said, I saw.
Don't post anything about who? Camille.
Who's Camille? I was lying.
Maroon.
Oh, Camille Maroon. Or what? Or what?
Or I'll fucking kill you.
This lady has been silenced from other girls who didn't like what Harry Sisson was doing. This sounds like a serious situation. At the very least, she's printing out pictures and shit. Her printer needs ink or something. But yeah, she even has an audio recording. This sounds like someone who has evidence of, you know, some terrible shit that Harry Sisson might have been involved with. I mean, obviously, I don't think Harry Sisson groomed anyone, but he probably was at least guilty by association. Anyway, that's the whole Harry Sisson situation. Apparently, according to Hannah, Harry Sisson worked for Camille whatever, and who possibly allegedly might have groomed a minor. That is actually any real basis of the story. Everything else is just, I'm sad he played me. Anyway, Yeah, that's it. That's the drama for today. I thought this was really interesting. This has been gaining a lot of traction on Twitter. So I thought I'd talk about it. I was going to do a Dave Blunt's thing today or a Kanye tweet, but this kind of caught my attention. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.